Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to pour all of these footings that we're getting ready to complete. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end so you won't miss out on any details of how you can do this type of work as well. I'm super excited because this morning the city inspector showed up and he gave us the approval so we can pour all this concrete. We actually had about 5 of the 6x6 pressure treated posts that were in between the rebar cages and they were all ready to go. He let us he basically approved everything, and even though we weren't fully done, but he already had the idea of how we were prepping everything. And I told them that for the next 3 hours we were going to finish up the rest of the 4 posts right before the concrete arrives. So everything worked out perfectly, and that's what we're doing right now. We had a few more posts. We had to dig a little bit down. Then we put in the rebar cage into the position, and then right in the middle we put in the 6x6 post. Now you'll see here we put some 2x4s, one that is across horizontally. That one is going to help us to temporarily support the 6x6 post, and that is because the site plan, it asks for them to be 6 inches above the bottom of the concrete, of the level of the ground. So the best way to do that is just to use a 2x4, and then you put some temporary screws so the 6x6 post will be elevated from the bottom 6 inches above the ground. And then we're gonna add 2 additional 2x4s for bracing. This is gonna help us to keep the post kind of in line and as close to plumb as possible. And then at the very end, or actually tomorrow, we'll be able to take all that out because everything will be perfect by that time. But this is all the prep work. So basically we showed up around 8:30 in the morning, and the concrete, it showed up around 11:30. So we had 3 hours to get all this work done, and thankfully we were able to get it all taken care of. So we're just installing these braces right here. We have 3 on that one, 2 over here. We have the cross one. Right there we measured the length that we need to make sure that it's elevated below or on top of the ground. And then from there we're going to add the braces to that one, so all of these posts will be perfectly in line and ready in the position so we can go ahead and pour the concrete. So the material that we're going to be pouring in there is coming from a short load. We really like those because they come in here and they mix the concrete right on site, and that's the best way, because the other option, when I ordered all this material, they wanted us to use like the 60-pound bags, which it would have taken like 90 bags. So we've done that before. We've hand mixed a bunch of concrete for a foundation for a bathroom, and it was a ton of work. You know, we did it between 2 guys, and it took us pretty much like all day to mix that concrete. But with this, it's gonna be the fastest, easiest way to pour it, and it's just gonna ensure that you don't have a bunch of mess everywhere. So right here you can see that everything's lined up, and then I have my guys use some masking paper and some tape. We're gonna go ahead and wrap that around each one of these posts at the bottom near where the concrete will go, and we did that to kind of protect the wood so it doesn't get much like concrete slurry on them, and it will just look better in the end. So the best way how to pour all of these concrete footings is directly from the concrete truck. We have just one wheelbarrow, and we have a couple of guys over there with shovels. So you just basically load your wheelbarrow, take it directly to the footing area, you dump it there, and just make sure that the concrete goes in and around all the space. We're using a rebar and also a shovel to just kind of push all the concrete down, making sure that everything is nice and compact and ready in its place. Then we're removing any excess concrete from the surface, and we have a few of the concrete tools that will help us finish up the surface so we have a nice level with the same flooring. And so all in all, today we have 9 footings. Each one of these footings measure 18 inches wide by at least 2.5 feet tall. Some of these are actually like close to 3 feet tall. And between all of these footings, the total amount of concrete that we used was 1 3/4 yard. And the total cost for all of that was a little bit over $500. So it was definitely worth it. Once the truck came in here and we started to pour this, it took us not even an hour to pour all of this concrete. Then after that, you know, you just want to make sure that you clean up all of your shovels, the wheelbarrow, and also any of the surrounding areas. Make sure that you leave everything nice and clean, so when you come back tomorrow, you can just get straight to installing the rest of the fence. Because in our case, we're doing all this work to build a heavy-duty garbage enclosure around some pretty big containers. And so the plan is for today, we're gonna pour all this concrete, finish the surface. We're gonna let it sit for tomorrow. We're gonna come back then and start building and installing all of the rails and the fence panel to enclose all of this area. So definitely stay tuned for that video so you can see the entire process of how you can build the garbage enclosure. We're gonna have 2 separate gates. One gate at the front, it's gonna be about 5 feet wide. It's gonna open out, and then it's gonna have another gate that meets up with that one that's gonna be sliding on some wheels. So it'll be quite interesting how we get all that done, but you know, definitely stay tuned for that video so you can see the entire process of how we're gonna assemble this. And once we're complete, this thing is gonna be looking amazing. Some of the other projects that we're doing here as well is forming some walkway for the ADA parking lot and also some concrete curbs. We're gonna be pouring that, I believe, like early next week around Tuesday. And then after that, we're gonna be pouring the asphalt. And all of those videos, I'm gonna try to record them so you can see this entire process. A few videos before this one, I uploaded of how you can bend the rings for the rebar cages, then how to assemble them, how to dig, you know, the footings, because all this work was quite a bit. We've been here at least like 3 to 4 days. It took us so long because we just had to do it a step at a time, and it was super hot, over 100-degree weather, so we could only work up to a certain point. But this is pretty much the entire process of how you can finish up the prep work and pour several footings for some heavy-duty post. We hope you liked this video. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so you won't miss out on any videos that we'll be uploading every single day. In the description below, I'll be putting several links with materials and tools that we recommend for doing this kind of work. Thanks for watching. May God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.